And we're
Reveal.
live.
Welcome
Yeah.
back to our fantastical little journey in the land of Lost Throne on the planet of Thrayne in the chaotic warring states right now, where you don't know if you're going to run into a refugee wagon of children or a manticore attack. It's really kind of 50-50.
Or, zombies.
Or zombies
Yeah,
and
we've been
ghosts.
literally all over the place so far.
Yeah,
I was the way you were saying that. I was waiting for some world building. Only, what's the name of the solar system, Gabe?
uh,
Yeah.
don't have that one yet, but I know how the postal system works. So
Priorities.
micro
sure.
to macro, man.
It's a
We're
work in
working our way.
process.
Yeah.
Always.
Before we jump in, just a quick reminder: we do have our Saturday game coming up this week. Breakfast and Dragons, set in the dark, super fucked up, and trauma building world of Straterra, DM'd by the lovely Bill, who's up there from my perspective, right? No, that
I
way.
noticed I always
Yeah.
raise my Cthulhu arm.
All hell.
So, uh, if you want to catch it live, it is 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Saturday, the 24th, or check it out here, video on demand later. And otherwise, I don't think we have any announcements because, we're not that fancy.
Nope.
All right. Well, last we left off, the party had been traveling further north into Lost Throne, heading towards Dunkelner, where a ally of Reese named Jarl Josef Kellner is mustering troops to fight off this strange invasion of these giants you've heard of. Giants have not been seen in the lands for a very, very long time. Working your way north and encountering a cursed and blighted village, setting the spirits there to rest, and then continuing on, you found your way to having a meal and getting supplies and food for a caravan of a few farm workers and children fleeing the conflict. After spending the evening with Gemma and Aaron and the children at a little bit of a safe distance because, stranger danger, shared a touching moment in the morning before, emotionally touching, not literally touching, moment in the morning before continuing further north, discovering one ransacked and looted wagon with blood everywhere and these strange spines, quills almost, sticking out of the wagon, to eventually be ambushed at another wagon by a flying creature with a almost humanoid bestial head and spines growing out of its tail and gray leather armor worn across its body. Well made, not fancy or embroidered, but well made nonetheless. Gathering up its head and leaving it on a pike as a message for later, deciding to head town of Hemlock, which is a day or so away from where you are right now. Hopefully to give them warning before any of these strange creatures make their way that direction. But we pick up with you all still at the scene of the crime. The battle has settled, conversation has happened, and here you are.
Well, I guess we keep on moving.
So, someone remind me. How much did we chat at the end of that combat? Did we
Not
talk
much.
last time, or did we pretty much just end with the combat?
No, I remember us talking quite a bit.
Yeah, there was some conversation, some deciding to go to Hemlock rather than to work your way around it.
Talking about the worry of it being armored. We cut the head off of it and put it on pike as a warning. I think Mistlethar took a couple of the spines to use as daggers?
Or something.
Not for any specific purpose, but yes, I do have a couple spines.
He's just gonna collect things.
That's right. Selu took one of the spines as well and documented it.
Jubei's contemplating what to pair with manticore meat in case he could, if he did cook it.
The little tiny tastes.
Yeah, it's a little gamey.
I'll send Lux back into the sky as an owl, just to keep a lookout. And like, I'm not gonna maintain the connection. I'm just gonna be like, let me know if there's another one of those things.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for Lux.
No bonuses to that, so it's just 12.
Okay. Noted.
Oh, sorry, it's a 13 plus 1.
Still noted.
So, how far away was this town?
About a day away, I think.
And we are currently, it is afternoon, and we are currently in the 28th of base.
Personally, I don't feel comfortable camping alongside the road with something like that around.
Absolutely.
Well,
not.
so
we should stay here.
Sorry, remind me. We're heading to a town, but we're outside like a smaller village right now. Correct?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
No, there's no village where we are, right?
It was a wreckage of a wagon.
I thought Hamlock was the village. We're heading to Dunkellner.
So, for just a little refresher, Hamlock is the next bastion of civilization.
Okay.
It is a village. It is not a thriving city by any means. But,
Something we would call a suburb nowadays.
Probably.
no, it's a few days away from Dunkellner, but it would. Reese, from your experience with the region, Hamlock is close enough to Dunkellner that they would rely on Dunkellner for protection, and patrols that would leave out of that fortress. There may be a watchtower nearby. There were lots of them throughout the countryside, but they are close enough that if they had to flee somewhere, they would go to Dunkellner. But it's still couple of days away from Dunkellner itself. Yeah, you could probably get there with a day of hard riding, but it, if you're in danger, hard riding and running is pretty much all you're doing.
If these are the types of things that are roaming the countryside, I worry what we will find at the next town.
Well, hopefully they have plenty of supplies and fresh meat. I mean, they are called Hamhock.
It's Hamlock.
Oh, that's bad.
Not
Yeah.
Hamlock.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure we can find much on supplies anywhere here.
It only goes to reinforce that there is no good time to visit Lock.
What's a hammock?
I'm not really sure.
A village about a day from here that we should go to and see if everyone is okay.
Well, yeah, that I agree, but you named cities around here very strange names. Where I come from, the cities are named for what they're known of. Like, the city over there, it's Green Mountain, or Majestic Seas, or something beautiful. It's like, what is a hamhock?
It is because they have locked their boar in the cages. Just go with it, Jubei. It will be fine.
Reese goes to collect his horse, who's hopefully still alive.
Yes, none of the horses were assailed.
Good.
This time.
No, that's a lie. One of my horse was assailed.
No, Navarra's.
Yeah, you attacked. You literally attacked Navarra.
Navarra?
Navarra is
not a horse.
That's a different story.
Okay.
She's
was
not
like, don't-
a horse.
I'm being gaslit. Help!
Translation: Navarra has more than 10 hit points.
It's accurate.
Navarra has more hit points than Miss Doug.
Possibly. Hang
Also
on.
accurate.
Probably so.
How many HP does Mist have?
We're looking at 15.
Okay, Navarra has more health than Mist does.
We've had this conversation. The damn ranger has more HP than the barbarian and the fighter.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The fox has more HP than
Wait, how much
Miss
How much
does.
does Selu have?
32.
You know,
Oh no, I'm at 41. I'm good.
Did you just say Lux has more HP than me?
Yeah, Lux has more HP than you.
Oh, sh-
I need to get
All
my
right.
life
Anyway,
together.
sorry. Let's play D&D. Sorry.
What are you talking about? This is math.
D&D
This
right
is
here.
D&D.
this
Yeah.
is D&D. We
Oh,
argue
man.
about how every other characters and their loopholes and their problems.
This is why Mist hides behind trailers all the time.
Yeah, this is the hiding. This checks out.
This is
Makes
the
sense.
thing. So from where you're at,
Yes.
you can ride hard into the evening camp, then keep going, or you can try to make it overnight. It's kind of up to you.
Well, my problem is if these things are let loose as military predators, turned into weapons, at night they will attack whoever's moving in the biggest target. So if we push hard, horses sweat, horses smell. If we push our horses hard, we will make ourselves bigger targets. As much as we hate camping out, maybe it would be for the best in just setting a watch.
By that logic, it would seem that they do not like the giants very much. Why don't we just lead them to the giants, and then the giants and the Metacorpians kill each other?
Do you know where the giants are? Because I don't know where the giants are.
Mist will just generally point.
If you've
the
managed
direction
to
we're
figure
going.
that out already, I'm impressed.
I'm curious what part these armored creatures have to play with giants. Whose side are they on? The stories I've grew up with giants and reading about giants are not that intelligent enough to train and armor creatures like this.
I've never met one, so I'm not sure.
I could be speaking about historical stereotypes, which we all know is not always true.
Yes, in my old troop, we had a very large man that was called the Giant, and people would pay to see how large he was. But he was very smart too.
But was he a giant or was he just portly?
He's the only person I've ever seen called the Giant.
Fair enough.
So, I mean,
Regardless of giants or more of these or who's behind this, even if we camp out somewhere else, I don't think we should camp out here.
No,
Oh,
not
no.
We
here.
should definitely put some distance between us and this.
some
agree.
creatures do not like the smell of their own dead, but some people do. Some creatures do. This might draw more. Or whoever released it might come looking for it, and I want them to find it dead, but I do not want them to find us.
I'll take my chances of being further from this than close to it, I think.
I agree. Say we ride.
Indeed.
I'm gonna awkwardly kick my horse and start going.
The horse just stands there.
Is
Get.
is Navarra fit for a hard ride at this point? I did what I could, but
She can ride fine, thank you.
good.
Mist will walk up to their horse and, I did not like this any more than you do, and just gently pat him and like gingerly climb on.
And everyone but Mist notices that the horse doesn't seem to really care any.
Nice.
Not since your visit through the woods,
Nice.
but I love the lean into it.
Oh, absolutely.
So, as you continue on north, what sort of pace are we riding at? Are we trying to push through the night, or are we trying to find a place to camp?
I feel like Selu would try and help determine that, depending on whether or not there's a good place to camp that would involve any kind of like cover and not just be out in the open. So could I maybe make a survival check to determine what kind of, if there's something closer by within like distance of where we're at that seems a good
So
place to get to in the meantime?
As you are riding northward along the road, you can see several batches of trees, rocky outcroppings, and the terrain is getting even hillier and rockier the further north you go. So there will be opportunities if that's what you choose to do. But the road is also more well traveled, more well beaten in, rather than just a trail that you had been following. So it is an easy path laid before you should you choose to continue on.
I notice Selu looking up to the sides of the roads. Actually, friend, I'd like to stay closer to the road tonight, if you don't mind. I know that we're looking out for the manticores, but if someone else were to, or this thing, someone else were to encounter one, I'd like to be nearby to help.
We did come this way to save the people, it makes sense. Jubei, I'll be behind you. Scooch up a little bit closer behind Jubei in the saddle.
You're always behind me. Are you gonna pilot the horse?
To be fair, do you think that those of your people here would still be out on the road or stay close to the road? If they're this close, if we're less than a day from Hemlock, what would be the most likely place for us to see them? Would it be under cover somewhere, or would it be them on the road at night?
Honestly, I'd be worried that if anyone else were to encounter something like that, they'd run the town as fast as possible. And so they'd probably ride through the night to get away from it.
If we're not going to take cover, I think I would almost rather us just continue.
I don't mind either way, unless anyone feels like they need to rest.
I think I can push through well enough, but open to what others think.
I am happy to be far away from things that shoot nails out of their tails.
Figure the sooner we get to town, the sooner we find out what's happening, but also a bit of safety. I'm not sure if those things attack towns like that. With an ambush, I'd imagine they're looking for easy prey. Just from my war experience. And I probably, Reese gives a little shifty eye to Jubei when he mentions war experience.
I do not have this war experience. I would just like to be away from things that will kill me and see a giant from a safe distance.
Fair point. Perhaps we'll just find a place along the road up ahead. Maybe off enough that we're not seen, but we can keep an eye out. You think you could find a spot, Selu?
I think well enough. Sure.
And easily enough done. You, as a group, are able to find a relatively covered place to camp. Rocky outcropping that doesn't lead to a cave, so there's nothing living there. And able to take a bit of shelter. And as the horses bring you up to this outcropping, the winds begin to shift just a little bit. And there's a in the distance of thunder.
Bit of weather tonight, it looks like.
Maybe it is best we stay in the cave.
Aye. Out in the open's not the best plan. Not tonight.
Fair enough.
And as the evening wears in, a light rain begins to drizzle down. Is there anything anyone would like to do throughout this time of camping as you recover from the exertion and the stress of the last fight?
I am still working on a puzzle box.
I believe you've already made a roll for this day.
Okay.
I will, as we go into the cave, leave a bucket of our provisions outside to fill with water. As it rains, fresh water.
Sure.
I'd like to rage. No, I'm kidding.
I hate
really
the
hates
rain.
Darn you, Rain.
I like the rain.
There is probably a moment right before we settle fully that Reese is gonna pull out his his giant bag full of all the knickknacks and things that he carries. And he'll set his mask down, and he'll set his cards down that he carries on his belt, along with his healing stuff. And then out of his bag, he is going to pull 3 daggers that he carries that he just had in his bag, and one of them looks like a sword that had been cleaved, broken. So it's the size of a dagger, and he slides that into the belt with all of his other gear, and then puts the other knives back in the bag, folds everything, and pulls out a tobacco pipe and lights it. And then I'm gonna summon Lux down. Take her. Listen, you're not gonna like this at all, but I would like you to stay near the road and keep an eye out and tell us if you see anything weird.
Sad whistling.
Yeah. Look, I promise, as soon as we get to town, we'll have a nice warm place. You can sleep in the cloak again. It'll be great. Promise.
With
Just
a
whistle.
Yeah, whistle. With a very sad whistle. Lux slinks off into the rain. And
then I'll just sit
occasionally
near
you just feel in the back of your mind cold,
Oh, no.
wet, uncomfort.
Reese will sit by the edge of the cave, and every once in a while just call her back, and they'll snuggle for a little bit, and then send her back down.
So what's the story with the broken sword there?
Figured if we're going into a place with a war, I'd carry a weapon.
But why that one instead of one of the daggers?
Well, kind of strange actually, but when my dad went away to fight after the Starfall, I never saw him again, and I didn't really know what happened. But when my ma died, I went after looking. I never found him, but I found plenty of battlefields, and couldn't find him, but I found plenty of broken swords. I figured if anything, I would take one and keep it. Hold on to it to remember him. My ma left me these cards, so I keep the cards. I figured if anything, I'd keep the sword. I don't know, might come in handy. Not very good like Jubei or Ai is, but still pointy and sharp.
Well, if you're going to carry it, you might at least have some experience doing something with it. And Selu pops up and pulls one of their Eskrima sticks out. Says, "You wanted to train. You've got a weapon?"
And he'll stand up and pull out the little broken sword. Fair enough.
And the moment he like steps into position, Sailor like puts their hands up, corrects his posture and stance a little bit, just prods, and then proceeds to continue the sparring that they've been doing lately.
Heck yeah.
Hi. What are you doing as the group beds down for camp?
Did we bring our horses into the cave?
Yeah,
How-
it's large
how-
enough.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Okay.
Then I'll be tending to all of the horses, one at a time, ending with Navara and just like taking extra care, tending to her wounds and redressing them, making sure that they're, like, what's the word for like the salve that you put on it? Tinctures or fresh
Yeah.
and things like that. Yeah.
As you are tending to Navara, as she has your whole life, Navara is stoic, calm. The wounds don't seem nearly as bad as they did in the moment. You know, his but a flesh wound kind of thing. You swear they're healing quickly. But make a perception check for me.
That is a 10 on the dice, which makes it a 15.
Out of the corner of your eye, as you're leaning down, tending to Navara, you kind of stand up, and there's the horses and all their saddles removed, and you look over across them, and for just this faintest of seconds, you swear you see a hooded figure walk past your field of vision towards the mouth of the cave.
Is it familiar to me?
That's not the first time you've seen it.
Okay. So I'll finish up whatever I'm doing, brushing down Navara, and turn back to where I saw it. Is there anybody around me?
Your party, and it's not a massive cave by any means, but it's large enough for you all to fit under it. Under
So
this
you'll-
rock outcropping.
You all see me like walk over towards the entrance of the cave, and then I very quietly will talk to the vision, I guess. You have been following me for, well, I'm not sure for how long now. I want to know what you want.
As the storm is kind of blowing through, and this rain, not quite verging on what we would call a heavy rain by any means. There's a boom, 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 thunder in the distance, and if I make actual thunder noises, my mic cancels them out. But the thunder in the distance, and in the flash of the heat lightning and the cloud, on a hill just a ways away northward, you see a hooded figure standing there. And its hood, the shape of it turns, and thunder flashes again. And the lightning, in the split second of the lightning glare, it's gone.
Is there a specific direction that it turned,
North.
which is where we're traveling? We are making our way there. For whatever reason. That's all I got.
It does not reappear.
That's fine. I didn't think so.
Very much the if you've watched any of the Vikings series?
Yes,
Like when
Odin.
Ragnar would see Odin in the
Yeah.
distance, kind of like
Yeah,
that
that's-
same like there and then gone.
Yeah, that's good.
Anybody else wish to accomplish anything this evening?
So, Mist would be doing his normal minor illusion trick that he's been practicing. Since they're no longer seeing the effects of the aurora, he's kind of projecting it up onto the wall. And as the storm moves in closer, he kind of drifts off, and as thunder peals out, he gets almost startled awake. And the minor illusion just sprays with a dazzling array of colors. And doesn't necessarily do anything else, but he like catches himself. That's a stench, and then just goes back to the aurora.
You're getting much better at that.
I lost the intention for a moment, it seems. Just sprayed color instead.
What do you think about when... How does it work for you?
For me?
I'm talking to Mist.
Okay.
It is emotion and intention, yes. So I think about wanting to be very close to my father again, and then I project the closest thing I have seen to being near him, and it comes out of my hand, and like he like shoves his hand, and nothing really happens.
Have you tried thinking about other things that make you feel strongly?
I thought about being scared and wanting the spider to be held in place, and it did. That was cool.
True. It's a good one.
And I thought about wanting to put on good tricks, and I can change the color of things, like the fire, or make my voice very loud. That's cool.
It's cool.
Oh, and I set that forest thingy on fire when it wanted to kill us.
You did.
That was kind of cool.
I won't lie, and I will like try to produce like flames and just like put my hands through them. I can't really make it do what that you did.
It was like real fire.
I know. I'm very aware. It was very real fire.
It's probably because the fire does not hurt me like it hurts you.
Perhaps. Not sure. But I can also make other things that would hurt, and I like make a sword. But they don't, and I like stab myself and nothing happens.
Best use of minor illusion.
Just tricks, I guess.
Mist immediately starts practicing like conjuring up other things instead of just the aurora.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting. So much of what you all do seems so similar in so many ways, but mine feels different. Like it's tied to nature in some way. Like it.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if that's just for me, or
it doesn't seem so different. Miss says that his is tied to his father, so.
right.
And I'm going to assume that Kai thinks that his is tied to something else too.
But
By what?
Your magic. When you shot that thing out of your chest.
No, it is a trick of the light. I do not do magic.
Reese momentarily considers attacking Kai to make him do it, but doesn't.
Probably in your best interest in the long run.
Probably not to.
but
I
mean more in the effects of what you seem.
Well,
to
what
be
do you
able
think
to
about?
do. Oftentimes I'm finding that things happen out of a reaction in a moment, and then I consider what happened in those moments, but then it becomes a little easier to channel for the intent. And they'll like put their hand to the ground and like next to a rock where there's a bit of moss, like it expands across the rock. But for me, and picks up the moss and holds it, and I have no means of making these illusions. Like, what do you?
Yeah,
all
but
do?
yours is real. That's real. You just picked it up.
But it's different.
And I just make moss that looks exactly identical. But not real. And for me, it's just an extra sense. It's not a connection or a thing that I think of. It just is. It's like feeling or seeing or hearing. I just think of it and it's there.
Mist has made something appear in his hand that looks like a crudely like second grader version drawing of moss, kind of like what his cartographers that he's not super great at.
Yes.
I did not think I had the intention for that one. Like tried to like rub it out of his hands.
Perhaps it's a bit more of an art than a trick. Again, I can't set things on fire, and you can. So.
It's just it's clearly different for everyone, a little bit.
No, I agree. We're all a bit different about it.
But at the same time, there are things that you can do that I've found that I can, and they'll continue holding the moss, and they'll hand it to you, and it will start to glow, almost kind of like your fireflies for a moment, and you feel a healing energy wash down your hand as they cast Cure Wounds like they did for Navara.
Oh, that's a good trick.
So they're different, but there's still similarities too. It's so interesting.
That is very interesting. And I will create a firefly and like hold it and like hand it to you, but not like create it for magic. When I create it, it's just an idea that I want to send this and heal you or fix someone. It's not really like I want to create it. It just happens. I can just make everything I do is just light and shadows and things like that. I'm not really sure I could create tangible things yet.
Perhaps.
I mean,
perhaps you will learn how.
Considering we're doing magic.
I didn't know how to do any of this before meeting you all.
Considering we're doing magic, and he set someone on fire, and you created wind out of nothing, and disappeared and reappeared, and I shot a laser from his chest, and
but it wasn't.
Juve
I still
breathes
don't
fire
know what
and
a laser is. That's
and I like Eldritch Blast into the cave. No, I'm just kidding.
The whole cave just crumbles down.
The rocks fall, everyone dies. Good campaign, guys.
Good campaign.
All right.
But my fire is not magic.
It's
a natural ability. There's lizards that breathe fire.
and that's true, and there are also creatures that make light, but I don't think
It's
me making light is...
It's not magic, it's biology.
So would our magic be biology?
No, your magic is magic. It is strange. Does a part of your body create like magic? Like a mother's breast creates milk? It's not biology. It's apparently what you make is something you pull from the universe. My body creates the fire, and it exhausts me, and I can't do it again until after I rest. But it is not magic.
I mean, there's only so much magic that I can do before I have to rest too. It's not like I'm just pulling something.
It takes effort.
It takes a lot of effort, actually.
By this time, I'm retrieving the bucket of water. Hopefully it's full.
But I'm pretty tired.
I do not understand this idea of milking a mother.
Oh no. I'm going to go to bed. You all can explain this to him.
And Mist is gonna like sit cross-legged in front of Jubei and just look expectantly for an explanation.
And so as that conversation wanes on,
Good luck, Jubei. And Selu will step outside, like, just to the edge of the cave to take first watch.
How old are you, Mister?
We've never talked.
So the evening progresses.
Fade to
Jubei
black.
looks quizzically as the camera pans out, and
His dad was a little absent during his childhood. So.
I mean, his dad is the moon? Question mark.
It's
Yeah.
rough, bud.
I was given to a
That's rough.
circus as a baby.
Yeah.
And I've hung out with circus people. You should know about sex by now.
Very true.
So
That was the running joke.
Before
They
this
would,
conversation devolves.
that was the running joke. They would just fuck with him and fill his head with lies.
Oh, for sure.
So as the evening wears on into night, eventually the storm lets up, and the night sky lets loose its stars. And at this point in the moon's cycle, Nias is almost completely gone. Just a faint little blip on the horizon. Rises and falls, just barely cresting. But traced, the full, bright white and yellow moon, much like Earth's moon, is halfway through its cycle, lighting up the fields around. As you pull watch, each of you find your own senses of comfort and rest. But this land that you are traveling through, this place, this ominous sense of journey, gives way for just a moment. And it is a truly beautiful landscape. You know, it's not the mountains and forests that you grew up in Jubei, or the Great Plains and rolling hills, Kai, or the cities and lights and crowds, mist, or the forests rich with its own beauty and bioluminescence, Selu. But it is beautiful. This ominous, twisted, rocky, creepy landscape that you travel through. And eventually night passes, and the next day is upon you.
I'm gonna hit that button.
Do it. Hit that button. Smash that like button, y'all.
Look, that button's very important to this warlock over here.
Can't say smash that like button until you like start off as like a Twitch Twitch streamer.
That's fair. I went ahead and top Navarra off for you.
Oh, thank you. I was about to.
Oh, warlocks and the importance of naps.
I know, right?
Warlocks are the embodiments of naps.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Reese is the embodiment of nap. Reese will wake up, realize that he slept the last couple hours just with Lux. Okay, we should probably get going and look out. And I'll whistle for her to look around the cave while we get ready.
You get like just the slink and shame from Lux as she goes back out into the world. The puppy that you caught doing the thing you told it not to do.
Uh-huh.
And it knows.
Uh-huh. Of course.
Well, at least it's not still raining this morning.
I agree. But the road might be pretty bad.
It wasn't raining too hard last night. It should probably be alright. Shouldn't be too much of a mess anyway.
Will we make it to the Hemlock today?
We should.
I hope it's still there.
If you push, Reese, from your experience, if you push through the day, you'll get there in the afternoon. If you travel at early afternoon, you travel at a little more leisurely of a pace, you'll get there at night. As the sun sets.
I will relay that to the group. Personally, I'd rather get there a little sooner.
I agree. If we hope to learn anything from anyone, best to get there sooner in the day.
As long as the horses can handle it.
Well, how are our horses doing?
Decently.
Okay,
I mean, the only horse that matters is perfect. Flawless.
Right.
obviously.
Specimen.
You look over and her hair is perfectly like swooped. So
Oh, it's like,
There's a gentle breeze, and you're like, we're in a cave.
Navarro's over there having a friggin' like Maybelline moment. Just-
Yeah.
Yeah, Navarra hasn't had a bath
Oh, it's Maybelline.
Oh,
no.
in-
Jesus.
Well, that just happened. We should definitely leave this cave before that.
And then
sticks
we
to
leave the
anybody.
cave.
There's a ancient cave etching in that cave, but when translated, it's maybe it's you, maybe it's Maybelline.
Oh,
Jesus.
Gathering up your supplies, you did give all of your fresher food rations to Gemma and Aaron, but
Yeah.
you kept some basic trail rations for yourself, and you're pushing along, and between that and Selu's knack and Reese's experience in the region, you're able to pick up nuts and berries, and Jubei with his experience foraging and knowledge of what is and is not edible lends a hand as well, and able to gather up a meal for the morning before you push on.
I'm fairly certain that the area providing Kai and Selu can produce enough food for like a small troop.
Well, we had plenty of rations.
You've got biscuit and tack, basically. Some dried jerky, nuts, things like that.
I
You
still have
gave-
a jug of moonshine.
Yeah, you gave
You know, the
all
important
of your
stuff.
fresh and
Yep.
perishable items to Gemma and
Yes.
Aaron and the kids.
Yeah. Anything excess that we had got from the day before.
Yeah.
And foraged for, we made sure it went with them.
Yeah. You still have food, just flavor text at this point.
Yeah. Then we'll head off.
All right. So as we begin, who would like to lead off for this day's journey?
I feel like I've done it every time.
Selu would be happy to help lead the way, but would possibly defer to Kai on if the roads look like they might not be great for the horses.
Can
Yeah,
I
that's true.
make a check for that?
So, would you like to lead with a survival check today, Kai?
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
I will just, passenger seat navigation. I'll hold the map.
Perfect.
No,
That
you're
is-
doing it wrong. Stop at the
You're
stop
doing it.
sign.
You can go past 2 more gas stations.
That's an 11 on the dice, so 16.
Okay. And who would like to roll a d10 for me?
Oh. Ugh.
Yeah,
I was chirping up there a minute ago, so I'll roll that. That's a 7.
Okay. With
It's
a
not
7, Kai, the roads are okay. There are places where giving Navarra her head and letting her lead the way, she takes you clear off the road to find more stable footing. And everyone looks at the group like, wait, what? And then you see like a rock slide from where the rain had loosened it the night before. The chance encounter roll for today is actually the version of Lost Your Way. With the rain that came through the day before, and thankfully Navarra being as the brains of the operation with that particular you are
It tracks.
yeah it tracks.
Wait, what is Navarre's intelligence? I'm just curious.
I think her wisdom is roughly the same as yours.
She's a 14 wisdom. Mine's a 16. She's a 6 intelligence. Okay, mine's an 8. So
it's close. It's a sliding scale.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But there are definitely a few moments as you travel and begin to head further and further north as this hilly ground heading in towards where Dunkelner is gives way to much more rocky, craggy terrain. And it may not have rained super hard where you were, but just an hour or two north, it poured. And the road is just washed out. And so you lose several hours backtracking and finding a more stable path. Thankfully, though, you pass the day unassailed.
I'm like eyes up the whole time.
And as the afternoon wanes, and you think we should really be there by now. This is taking too long. There's a faint shift in the wind. A almost feeling, Selu, as you have been using your druid craft to gauge the weather and that connection to nature fostering. There's this feeling in the air. Something's and right as you realize that there's a scent of ash on the wind, you crest over a hill. And down
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
2 hills, you see a town ablaze.
Yeah. Race is probably gonna just kick his horse and go.
yeah, ditto.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, that answers our question. Kick the horse.
Kicking the horse.
This looks over your shoulder. Oh shit. This holds on real tight.
Kicking the horse into full gear and dropping a gear on her and barreling down the last set of hills as you come closer. You don't see movement anywhere.
But it's a blaze.
Well, you see the blaze moving, but you don't see. You would expect
Frozen
to see-
fire everywhere.
Yeah, just
Still frame.
picture perfect. Forever. You would
Shake
you
out
would
real weird.
expect to see people running. You would expect to see bucket brigades. You would expect to see something. And there are no people in sight. Getting closer and closer, there is dead livestock in a field off to your left. Just ravaged. You go closer and closer, and there's a farmhouse just roaring with flame. Looking good on my end. Little technical issue. So, the looks like Bill's internet may be acting up a little bit. Yeah, you're lagging just a little bit, man. So that may be your
Smidge
issue
of
with the
lag,
stream.
yeah.
So you pass a farmhouse just ablaze, thatch roof completely gone.
I'm gonna whistle for Lux to just fly to me quickly.
Oh, you're making her fly? Man.
Making poor Lux do so much.
Well, now she can come back and be safe box in cloak. Or I'll wear the fox scarf, like around my neck.
So, you are galloping across farm fields that look like they're ready to be sown for the season, and there's a dead mule and a dead cow, and barreling closer and closer and closer. What do you all do?
I might slow down a little bit, but keep going.
Selu draws bow, but stays close to to Reese, not rushing ahead unless they see like someone specifically that needs help.
Kai is on the lookout for danger, basically, from the outside. Also, bodies.
Okay. No bodies currently. Just livestock, occasional farm dog. Nothing else sticking out at the moment.
I'm gonna keep riding straight to the center of town.
Okay. Hi. With your absolutely absurd passive perception.
Of 20.
Yeah, I don't even remember how you get that. Like, it's absurd. You do see movement in the village as you get closer. It's difficult to make out through the smoke and the billowing, rolling black flame and smoke. But there is something moving in the village.
I'm gonna stay silent, but I'll hold up a hand to draw attention to me, and then once I get people's attention, I'll gesture towards whatever I see.
It's gone. You saw it in the cloud, but as you gesture forward, the clear sign of warning is there.
That's fine. I want to get closer if I can to where I saw
Same.
it.
I'll follow Kai. Since he put up the signal, be careful.
Okay. The moving object, creature, figure, whatever, is in what you would consider the center of the town. Where
Okay, cool. Then I'll keep going.
Comes to this L intersection and continues on with the road. And again, Kai, with that passive perception, you don't see any bodies.
I'm just gonna keep going into the town.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
A little more urgently.
I might pull a cloth over my face to like keep the smoke out.
Okay. And as you do, you feel like that was a really wise choice as you go into the smoke, and everyone immediately starts coughing. The dense billowing. I don't know if you've ever been near a hay fire, but it is not an enjoyable experience.
No, not at all.
And as you continue in, there is a crash from one of the buildings, and turning on guard immediately, the building caves in from the fire. The big structural beam that was supporting its center collapses. I need a perception check from everyone.
Yeah.
Nine.
16.
That's good.
13.
That was good. 24.
Nice.
30
13 again.
Okay. Selu and Jubei. For just a moment, you swear you see flapping wings in the smoke above you. For just the faintest moment.
Beyond God, I think maybe there's something in the sky, and Selu will try and find to like the closest area outside of the, like, judging where the wind is blowing the smoke from, try and make it to the opposite side of the fire to get a better vantage on what is up above, if possible.
Sure. And so as you're kind of working your way back out of this ring of central houses, and one of them is much larger, you can see, Reese being familiar with the region and the architecture, you can see that this was the town kind of inn and general store, and it's a small little place. But it is just completely ablaze, and there is a reek of burning flesh coming from inside of it. Overwhelming. As you get closer, gag worthy. Immediately, you all catch it.
Reese is going to ride up to the building. It's not collapsed, right?
Not yet.
And just shout, "Is anyone in there?" Probably futilely, but
As you
shouting
shout
over the flame.
into it, Sailor, you're working your way around the edge. Everybody else is kind of in this center of town, staying away from the blazes as best you can. As you shout into the building, you hear movement. You hear the sound of rummaging or grabbing at something, and a shelf falls over.
What is the state of the building?
Perilous?
Kai, I think there might be someone in there, but I'm not sure. I might hop down from my horse.
So, where are Jubei and Mist amidst
wait.
this at the moment?
In the back of the group. We were the last to get going.
Is the door open, shut? Can we tell?
Missing.
Missing. We can't see inside though. Too much smoke, or
Too
what's
much
the?
smoke. It just
Okay.
billowing out.
I'm going to tell Lux to run in and look for somebody. Just like go find someone. But and like telepathically, I'm gonna do some whistles to her and remind her of like her light ability to hopefully get in and out if something happens.
Okay. Make a
But like
perception
basically,
check.
yeah.
Or Lux at disadvantage.
Oh no, I rolled a 11.
Okay. Lux darts into the building and darts out. And didn't see anything.
She doesn't see anyone in there, but I'm not sure.
As Lux darts out of the building, you hear from inside the building.
Is there something you could do to disperse the smoke? Use your magic.
I told you last night my magic's not real. It's just it doesn't.
I turn to Selu.
Selu is actually like off a bit.
Yeah,
because Selu
Shit.
went to try and get outside of the smoke to get a better view.
We don't have
of what's
Selu.
going on otherwise. Selu would
Okay.
not be able to help you right now anyway.
That's
I
fine.
will-
So,
I will grab my cloak off of my horse and douse it with my water skin.
Okay.
And, like,
Soon
look at
as
Kai.
you-
Kai groans and takes it and throws it over him and runs into the building.
Hang on.
Oh, no, I
Go
was gonna-
say something.
I was gonna go with him.
As they are doing this, as soon as Jubei gets near what they're talking about, he will take an action, so 6 seconds, and concentrate, drawing forth his chromatic warding.
Yeah.
That makes me immune to fire for 10 minutes and run into the building.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I'll stop Kai.
So yeah, I grab the cloak and I throw it over me, and then Jubei runs into the building, and I'm like, here.
Jubei, perception check at disadvantage. Selu, perception check for me.
Okay. Only an 11 this time.
Okay.
So that was 12 and a 16, so a 15.
Okay. Selu, even though you got out and it would have been a little easier to see, with another building collapsing and billowing up ash into the sky, it just kind of obscures the sightline you were hoping to gain. Jubei, as you barrel in, you are unfamiliar with the architecture of these buildings. You barrel in and smack directly into a wall and kind of brush it off, and you see it ahead of you and see the hallway goes off to the left, and turn and barrel down that hallway and smack into something solid. And you blink off your eyes and look, and standing before you, towering above you, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 feet tall,
Oh
This-
shit!
dark gray leather armored humanoid figure coughs, looks at you, and screams, "Skaluda!" And I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Well, fuck.
Remember at the very beginning where I was playing around with Beyond
Yeah.
20 and rolled that nat 20 initiative?
Yeah, I
We're
do.
just rolling that in, right?
Holy shit! And I rolled a nat 1 initiative.
No.
I rolled a 9.
I blame
Gonna
Sean.
give it a try.
I jinxed it. Sorry.
Oh, I got a 6. Yeah, we're doing great.
Oh my god. I got a 7. God. That's with +3, guys.
It's alright, guys. We'll be able to see what our enemy is doing before he, and then prepare.
I'm not gonna be
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah, clearly. Gonna be fine. Oh my god. If we're going into combat, I gotta hit the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Why don't we take a super quick bathroom break while we get this started, and we'll be right back. As he walked away, I guess not.
Yeah, never mind. Do you want to rearrange us on the map where we were?
I'm about to.
No breaks for the rest of us.
You can go. You can get up and leave.
I'm not allowed. I haven't been cleared.
Okay. Jubei, what was your initiative? 9.
9.
9.
7. Missed. Where are we at? 19. Nice.
Did this person shout something intelligible?
Not in a language any of you speak.
Fair. Reese doesn't speak a lot of languages, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it checks out. Right. I love how we're currently streaming the scramble and get things together here.
Well, I'm glad that we didn't run into that building, because I was going to follow you in.
Yeah.
It's funny, because I imagined I was going to put that cloak over myself, and you just grabbed it off of me, and then Jubei runs by, and then you throw it back on me, and now I'm just holding a wet cloak.
Okay. Been waiting for this.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, giants.
That initiative tracker pulled up. Oh man, at least one of us got a good roll here.
Yep.
Yep.
Got something.
One of us that's in the back and has no intention of doing anything aggressive.
Right.
Also, I don't know that you would have heard the shout
Right?
with everything going on.
Yeah, honestly.
So,
I'm not mad about it.
yeah. While Bill has stepped away, I'm going to take this opportunity to do it as well, and then we'll get this combat started.
Sweet.
You know, of course he sits here and like plays on our heartstrings of like somebody's in the burning building.
Uh-huh.
Alternatively, what if it's fucking giant?
I
Damn it.
will be honest, not one moment considered that it might be an enemy. I was
I didn't
like,
either.
oh, someone's in the building in
Yep.
danger.
Yep.
Like, yeah, maybe something above us. Danger.
Did not consider it at all. Just man.
Does Selu have a short bow or a long bow?
Longbow.
So, range out the wazoo.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
I think we're the main ones with range.
Yeah, I think so. I think Mist
Like,
has
like Mist has some.
but
When you all
you know,
have to
Kai
take
has
that-
some whenever he shoots magical bolts out of his chest. But you know,
Yeah.
Somewhat range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
javelins. That's about it.
when you
Javelins
all
are
have
like
to take the
poor
free
excuse.
combat urination.
Yep.
Stress P.
Absolutely. Anxiety P.
Yeah. Palm sweaty, knees weak.
What's this vomit on my sweater already?
Mom spaghetti?
Mom.
Jesus.
spaghetti.
Didn't we do this in our Thursday game?
We
Pat?
did. We
God
did.
damn it.
You can't not. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Palm sweaty, knees weak. Every week.
All right, let's get some appropriate music here.
As opposed to the inappropriate music.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
get those war
These
drums
tracks are
going.
great. Yeah.
So
Now my palms are sweaty.
So, Jubei, you have smacked into this 9-foot tall figure in front of you, hunched and barely fitting inside of the structure. It screamed in a language you don't know. And missed. It is your turn. Make a perception check for me.
17.
Okay. With 17, you just barely hear the muffled cry of a figure, deep bellowing voice from inside the fire. But that's it. You don't know who it is. You
And having like crossbow drawn and almost like responsey to things. You heard all of you heard that scream, yes? And that will be what he says for the round. and having 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, he's going to beeline 30 over to this, what he hopes is cover behind the barrels, or near the barrels.
The least burning building.
Yep. And ready in action to shoot anything that looks like it would be scary.
Okay. So, Jubei, through the smoke and ash and shock of running into this tall, gray-skinned, gray leather-clad figure, I need you to make an athletics or acrobatics check.
Get him.
What's going on?
Bill, if you have answered, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm having a little bit of technical issues over here. What's going on?
I need an acrobatics or athletics check from you as this being in front of you, this creature, is using part of its action to Sparta kick you.
Okay, then I will do athletics. But I'm higher than that. And that will be a 18.
Okay. Unfortunately, the big booted foot extends out and kicks you in the chest, the foot taking up the vast majority of your chest itself, and you find yourself knocked back 5 feet into the wall you had run into originally. And the creature barrels through the burning wreckage. 5, 10, 15, 20. As it barrels out of the building, this 9-foot tall, gray-skinned humanoid crashes into the two of you that are standing there, coughing. And then it screams that same shout again, reaching for its axe. Skaluda! And takes a swing at Kai.
Yes, good.
Oh no.
Is this creature still considered a medium creature? Like, is that appropriately sized right now? Or
He said yes.
giants? Got it.
What is a giant?
Elias.
I mean,
Got it.
he's giant.
Okay, Kai. A 18 is gonna hit you, yes sir?
Yes.
Alright. For 12 points of slashing damage as it strikes down into you.
And I have not yet been able to rage.
You have not.
Ugh.
As it reveals itself barreling out, this is the largest thing you have ever seen in human form, in humanoid form.
Sure.
This massive 9-foot tall creature.
What did he hit me with?
An axe.
Okay.
And my axe. Jubei, you are not prone, you are just against the wall there. And that is the end of its turn. And now we are at Jubei.
Quit spot check because I'm going to run after this guy, but any other movement other than the fire inside the building?
Make a quick perception check for me.
Natural 20.
Nice.
No other moving creatures.
Oh no.
Alright, so smoldering Jubei will come running out of the fire beside the creature. as I'm running out, do I see it swinging at Kai?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, there goes any type of peaceful negotiations. So I will come in swinging myself with my easily one attack. Does a 17 hit him?
It does.
Okay. So you guys see Jubei come running out of the fire, just smoke and ash and stuff billowing off of him. Very, very trained and skilled. He almost slides the last 5 feet on his knees, flashing up with his sword, cutting the back of its leg for 13 points of damage as he stands to face the creature.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Okay. And if that is the end of your turn, go ahead and hit that end button for me, friend. And Selu, you are up. Reese, you are on deck. Selu. You see this happen. You see this 9-foot tall creature come barreling out of the building and begin the melee.
Apologies for the dogs barking at the clear fires going on everywhere at the moment. So Selu will continue on horseback. 5, 10, 15, 20, to about there, and then range. Yeah, they will take a bow shot at this big honker from there.
Okay.
Wow, this die really likes 6s all of a sudden. That's an 11 to hit. Assuming that's
11
not going
does
to.
Not hit, no.
Okay.
Horseback just not being your particular combat cup of tea.
Yeah.
The bouncing of the horse throws off your aim.
Okay. I actually have I have more movement than I thought I did, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 20. There. So that will end my turn.
Okay. You are up. Kai, you're on deck.
Reese is going to panic for half a moment, and then he is going to steal his mind again and compartmentalize that fear. And in one movement, shift down the mask and pull out the half blade, and the blade lights up as a sword of light, and I'm going to slash at him, and it's thematically it's a sacred flame, so I need a dex save. And I crouch down in like Selu's battle stance, and Lux leaps off my back at him.
20 for the
Jeez.
save.
So Sacred Flame does nothing. But then Lux is right on him. Does a 13 hit?
It does not. Lux being thrown off by the ash and smoke and a little caught off guard herself just misses.
Sweet. So she's probably on the other side of him.
Sure.
And that's the end of our turn.
Hi.
Alright, bonus action, I'd like to rage.
Yeah.
So let's see what that does.
Get it.
I rolled an 8.
Nice.
What is that? God damn it, this is the light from my chest thing. You're just joking about this, I'm not going to hear the end of it. Okay, so mechanically, a bolt of light shoots from your chest. Another creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet has to make a con save or take 1d6 radiant damage and be blinded until the start of the next turn.
Okay.
That is
So,
fancy.
thematically, he brings his axe up, or down, I guess, I throw my body back away from him, and as like basically I'm throwing myself back into like a backwards roll. But as I fall back is when you see my chest glow, and then lightning just arcs into him. What was the con save?
Constitution save of 16.
Okay, I think that does it. I'm pretty sure it does. What is my save? Where would it say that? I'm gonna assume the 16 saves because I'm not that high level.
Probably like 13.
So, yeah.
DC 13.
Yeah, it should be 8. I believe for you, it's plus your con modifier. So 8
Okay.
plus proficiency plus con modifier would be
Uh,
your
so-
saving throw.
It's
So
under
the-
class features, where it says
the-
wild perch.
The lightning like shoots over his shoulder as I fall into this backwards roll, and then I come to my feet and pull my shield and blade in like a fluid motion, and then I'll charge at him and strike him.
Okay.
So long sword attack. Here we go. That is a 13 to hit.
A 13
Man.
does not hit.
All
Didn't
of our
think
dice
so.
are fired. Every
Yeah, that was
Yep.
not great.
Every one of them. Unfortunately, a 13 does not connect.
All right, so that was action, bonus action. I'm right up against him. I'm done.
As
All these
you,
13s for episode 13.
as you swing down with your longsword and going through your motions of combat, it looks at you and just
Shit.
and
Oh, dear.
so we're back around to Mist. And just a small side note, keep in mind you guys do have horses that are probably terrified right now.
Mm-hmm.
So think about what you do with them on your turn.
Jubei jumped off the horse. That is Mist's problem.
Mist also jumped off the horse.
That's everybody
I was
else's
gonna say,
problem.
Seilu is the only one still on a horse right now.
That is future Jubei's problem. Jubei's got a giant to worry about right now.
Mistlethar.
Damn. Now that you said that, I feel like I should care about the horse. It is named after,
But
after
wood.
the moon.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, and especially like the Mist looks over with his crossbow and sees this thing completely surrounded, and he like tries to aim for just a second. There's too many people in this way, so he will in fact run 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, and try to like grab the horse and be like, "We need to get away from the middle of the road," and start trying to pull the horse. Okay. And depending on the horse's response, I would use my bonus action to dash. So if I need to use my action for animal handling or something to get the horse to come with me.
You may use your action to mount the horse if you'd like, and use,
Oh, cool.
use about half of the horse's movement.
Okay. So yeah, then we would Mist, not knowing anything other than to hide, would start leading the horse back over to where he was going to hide over by the barrels.
Okay.
This horse will just hide.
And I don't know how to move the horse, so that is my turn.
You should just be able to. Actually, I think I assigned it to Bill. There. Assign to player. Sean. There. You can move it.
I can, yay!
Huzzah.
How much movement would it have if it's already used? Sorry,
30.
30 feet. Okay. So yeah, it moves right back to where Mist started.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Once again, this large behemoth of a humanoid shouts, "Skaluda!" and attacks.
We don't speak that language.
Its first swing straight at Reese, who struck at it with a sword of light, goes wide as it is adjusting its stance. Not expecting quite a diminutive opponent here. The second swing going at Jubei, who managed to hit it. Be much better. Of course, I closed that window.
What did it roll to hit Reese?
Do what?
What did it roll to hit Reese?
A 2
Oh, okay. So I missed.
on the die. Yeah, he missed. It didn't strike his armor.
I'm pretty short.
Against Jubei is 22 for max damage. For 16 damage.
Yikes.
And that is its turn. At the end of its turn, the third shout into the sky is answered as
I knew.
rearing out of the smoke comes another winged monstrosity that flies down across. Just do this. And is 30 feet in the air. D&D Beyond is done. There it goes. And from its position, 30 feet in the air, it brings its tail over its head and whips it forward, launching a flurry of bolts out. Missed a bolt, one of those long quill-like spines, buries itself in the house right past your head, mirroring what happened with the wagon the previous day. Reese, a 17 is going to hit you, I believe,
Oh yeah. Ooh.
for 7 points of piercing damage. And eeny, meeny, miny, Reese's horse.
Oh dear.
Reese's horse takes 11 points of damage.
Oh, she is
It's
rough.
it's having a bad day.
Yeah.
And this oddly lion and crossed with a humanoid face just looks down as its wings flap and its tongue.
Gross.
And that is its turn. Jubei, you're up. Sailor, you're on deck.
Okay, well, let's see. What else I can do? So, swing at this big individual again with my sword. I don't think a 16 is gonna hit him.
A 16 hits.
Oh. So,
Okay.
bringing the sword up from his left up to his right, from Jubei's the bottom left up. Hey, max damage again. Up this way towards the creature, trying to get underneath his arm to slow his arm down. 13 points of damage as I
Okay.
slice into his side.
As you slice down on its side, it looks at you quickly, and its eyes, in a painfully reminiscent moment, its eyes seem to bore into your soul, and you feel your body go sluggish. And the frostbite forms over your hands as you take 5 points of cold damage, your hands freezing to your blade. That is its reaction.
Frosty boys. Miss, kill it with fire.
Gave too much pets to one dog. The other dog got jealous.
Obviously. Bonus action from you at all, Jubei?
No.
Alright. Selu, you're up. Reese, you're on deck.
Okay. So, Selu is going to, seeing the Manticore find its way into combat here, and it attacking the horse, Selu is going to draw their bow, and as they do, the air around them almost clears of smoke momentarily as wind gathers around the shaft of the arrow as they cast Zephyr Strike. And I will go ahead and enact that to give myself advantage on the attack.
Nice.
So that is a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Okay, beautiful. So that's going to be lots of things.
Yeah, complicated.
Yeah, it gets real complicated. So making this favored foe, and this will gain my thing that I'm blanking on the name of it at the moment.
The psychic.
Yeah. The Dreadful Strikes. So doot. That is 11. Do you need any specific damage types from anything?
No.
Okay. 11, 15 plus 3 is 18. Yeah, 18 points of damage. I believe. Yes, that's correct. 18 points of damage on the Manticore, and then Selu and their horse, hold select both, there we go, are going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, this direction, trying to take its attention away from the other horses and Navara. Moving this way. So like as they take the horse forward, like just firing the shot up into the Manticore underneath them and continuing on. And that is action, bonus action, movement. That is it for Selu.
Okay, Reese, you are up. Kai, you're on deck.
Reese is gonna rip the bolt out of his shoulder and clap his hands together and pull the light apart, and Reese pulls apart into 4 different versions of Reese as I cast mirror image. And then I will step away and start running towards the Manticore.
Which is 30 feet in the air.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will hold my little broken sword and flare the light up and shout at it. And then I will look at the horse and shout at the horse. And it's already looking terrified. I'm going to assume it's just going to run.
Your horse to control.
So they're going to get away. And then while I'm sitting there staring down this Manticore, thankfully that dude didn't swing at me, Lux is going to slide under him and bite at his ankles.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, a 7 to hit. That's awful. And yeah.
Lux goes to latch on to its ankles, and it just very laissez-faire, caring not for this little rodent, kicks it and kicks Lux back to where Lux was.
Oh no.
Oh no, he didn't.
Oh no,
Poor
he did.
Lux has had a rough session.
Yeah.
Patrick, that means you need to smack your puppet off the table, right?
Now I'm angry. I'm angry. That's gonna be the end of my.
Okay. Kai, you're up. Mistletoe, you're on deck.
All right. Okay. So wait. The Goliath or the giant is what just kicked Lux, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in reaction to that, my chest is going to fire another lightning bolt as my bonus action. So give me another con save there.
Magic.
Unfortunately, because you are con save of 13, people beat it. 12 on the die plus things.
So again, my chest flashes and lightning arcs up and over the Goliath's shoulder.
But it's not lightning. But it's not magic.
It's not magic.
Totally not.
It's just.
Is that not a save for half situation? It's just a like.
No,
miss
it's
entirely.
Yeah. I get to do it every turn, but
It is not the best of all the options he has.
yeah. But if he fails, he's blinded and takes a d6 of damage. So,
Yeah, it's a big deal if he hits.
yeah. All right, and then I'm gonna take a swing at him with my sword.
Okay.
Swingity swing.
Not great though. Let's see. That is a 14.
Okay, 14 does not meet his armor class.
Damn it!
Guys, gonna need
Guy.
everybody's dice to do better.
Mine have
Yeah, I'm
been
rolling
fine.
my own dice now.
Better.
I imagine he's like swinging kind of like wildly with his axe to keep us kind of at arm's length, and so I keep trying to like dodge in, and then the axe comes back, and I deflect it off my shield, and then I go to swing, and then his axe comes back around and deflects my sword. That's what I'm picturing here.
Sure.
No, he's being pretty
Damn,
skillful. I'm like beyond bloodied, so.
So Kai, that's the end of your turn. Go ahead and click that for
Yeah.
me. Mistlethar, you are up, and then I'm on deck.
How high up is the manticore this time?
30 feet up.
So if I were to move here, would that be 30 feet away from me? Being on top of a horse?
That works.
Well,
X
no, I
squared
need
plus
to.
y squared equals z squared. So
I'm not doing.
Pythagorean's theorem.
I'm not doing.
Pythagoras can suck it.
Am not is doing.
But it answers my question because I need to do 15 feet for what I wanted to do, so I will not do that. Coaxing the horse a little further over here and like trying to get the horse to hide behind the barrels. Mist is going to
I'm
take
gonna
a shot.
need an animal handling check from you as you try to get your horse to lean against the burning building.
Oh yeah. 12 plus nothing.
Okay. Barely hanging on. The horse's eyes are rolling, and it's whinnying, and its nostrils are flaring, and it is not happy.
It's okay. This is the safest place, I promise. And then from the horse's back, we'll take a crossbow shot at the manticore.
Okay.
That is a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Was my horse hidden enough for it to be a sneak attack?
It is aware of your presence.
Yeah. And in true Mist fashion of being distracted by trying to keep his horse together, that is a 1 on the damage die.
No.
For a total of 3 points of damage. As Mist is like, this is the safest place, and then twang, and just like barely clips this manticore.
Mist, you've done more damage than Kai has.
Perfect.
Do you only have a +2 on your dex?
Yes.
Oh wow, I was expecting.
He's smart.
I was expecting your dex to be higher.
No. That's my second highest stat.
Okay, so we're gonna say that's gonna be the end of your turn, using your bonus action to try to coax the horse. Now it is the stone's.
The what, Gabe? What was that?
You'll find out.
I mean, it's in the initiative tracker.
No, I
so-
know. I'm just
Yeah.
messing with him.
Say the words.
The frosty energy that latched onto Jubei's hands seems to grow over its eyes, and almost like hoarfrost begins to compose around its skull as it rejuvenates an ability. And then turns and swings at Kai. It's gonna swing at the two annoying things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kai
Yeah.
and Lux.
Yeah, Lux is like if they had middle fingers, they would be like just a little fox. Like
It's telling him to fox off.
yeah,
Yeah.
fox off.
It's okay.
Um,
We've already established that Lux has more hit points than Mist, so like Lux
Right.
is gonna be fine. This is fine.
15 AC, Gabe.
Thank you. I hit you both.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Lux gets critted.
No!
That's okay. I got things for that.
I don't need that D20. 20. Lux is going to take 24 points of slashing damage from this axe.
God.
Okay.
Oh,
So
fuck.
I'm trying to think of how to describe this because I haven't used it yet.
Take your time.
So Reese is like focused on the manticore and feels like his hairs prick on the back of his neck when the axe comes down, and without thinking, he like reaches a hand back and a faintly visible tether of light like reaches to Lux, and a little tiny blossomed shield appears around her, and I give her resistance to the damage. So she only takes 12.
Ooh,
Damn.
Nice.
Very cool.
Still a lot.
Yeah, she's pissed.
Kai, you take 10 points of slashing damage.
Which is reduced to 5.
Yes, sir.
It's it like bites into my shield, but slips past a little bit and draws blood.
And it shouts at the manticore, very obviously, and just rattles off a sentence that none of you comprehend. Skaloot! Nick na the roof! And that is its turn.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
The manticore looks at the figure commanding it and begins to fly up and looses 3 more quills at the 3 closest things to it,
All 3 Reeses?
which are going to be Reese, Navara, and Kai. So,
Well,
Reese.
I tried to get its attention.
16 to hit Reese.
That hits. Hang on. It hits one of my duplicates, though.
Okay. Strikes the duplicate. The duplicate
Fades
and a
out.
cloud of fireflies
Yep.
off of it as it fades away.
Sweet.
I just smile, middle finger it.
Navara being majestic as fuck. Actually, this may hit.
A breeze comes up.
Yeah, the breeze comes up. The hair. The
AC
vibe.
12 for Navarro.
Okay, so it will barely hit Navara.
Damn it.
For 4 points of piercing damage.
Got it.
And then Kai, that will definitely hit you for 10 points of piercing damage, halved to 5.
Yep.
And it flies upwards and begins growl barking into the cloud around you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no to that.
And it flies up 50 feet and disappears into the ash cloud.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. And we're on Jubei. Seilu, you're on deck.
So to start off with, Jubei, blood pouring out of his snout, in the traditional samurai movie fashion, catches himself with his blade against the ground. And I will use bonus action to second wind
Nice.
and get back. Not that much. 6 hit points. Better than nothing.
Have you used second wind before?
No, I'm not.
No.
Is there
What's it look
anything?
like?
Is there anything that looks like for Jubei, or is that just like a momentary like catch your breath kind of situation?
I just described it. It's your stereotypical Akira Kurosawa Japanese catching his breath during a fight scene.
Just
of
wipes the sweat.
blade against the ground, blood coming out of his mouth.
The camera quickly zooms into his eyes, and he gives the side eye at his opponent.
Oh, no.
I have a
It's the
specific
slash.
scene. Yeah, specific scene from last Samurai when my favorite character gets shot and everyone checks on him and he yells at him and spits the blood out and goes back into a fighting scene.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Absolutely amazing moment. That's Jubei.
Oh, what is
Like,
that actor's
Nice.
name?
I don't know, but I have like a hellacious man crush on him. He was just in a recent movie. He played Scorpion in the new Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal actor. But so as this blood is pouring out of Jubei's mouth, and he
Hiroki
Pull.
Sanada.
pulls
Sorry,
back
that
a
was worth
little bit of his, centers himself a little bit, pulling into himself this moment of leaning on his katana as he's pushing against the ground. The blood actually begins to bubble and steam and roil as I will release a cone of fire from my mouth into this guy
Okay.
as my attack
Alright.
action.
So I assume you're angling it so you don't hit your friends.
That is
Please.
completely fine. It's yeah.
Please.
It's,
I don't have resistance to that.
How much health does Kai, or how does Kai look?
I look rough.
Okay.
it's going to be a dexterity save of DC 12.
Okay. And it's save for half, I think. If I remember
Yeah, I
correctly.
think so.
Yeah, half damage.
So succeed, so I'll take half of whatever you roll.
So that's an 8 and 7. So 15 points of damage.
Okay.
And that will end Jubei's turn.
All right. Seilu. You are up, and Reese, you are on deck.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So Seilu is going to charge forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And drawing a bead on this quote unquote giant.
It's a giant
and
to us. We don't know any better.
having seen that like their action previously did not get the Manticore's attention. This thing yelled something and the Manticore seemed to directly respond to his commands. Seilu's gonna run forward, drawing an arrow back, and they feel the winds be like something's a little different about it. And as they run forward, they will just yell at this thing, "Call it back! Bring it back!" And they will cast Charm Person as the winds, that like psychic effect of the dreadful strikes like emanates forth, and the winds whip forth over to it, and it seems to try and like take hold on them for a moment.
Okay. The winds wrap out and curl around this thing's head to no effect.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, that's gonna end my turn then.
Reese hears this and is slightly terrified of what just happened. I feeling
everybody else. So as what other people would experience in that moment, because nobody else would necessarily have been knowledgeable of the like psychic portion of the winds otherwise, but like as that kind of like roils forward, the wind carries through the group of people, like everybody hears a brief whisper of that, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
That's
Creepy.
terrifying.
I love it.
Reese is going to stand his ground and hold the sword out facing this giant, and light shoots from the bottom of the handle too, and it creates the bow, and he pulls it back as far as he can and is going to launch a guiding bolt at this thing.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 barely hits.
Nice.
Well, I am glad. That is my last spell too. All these. 25 radiant damage, and then that halo of light circles around his head again.
Okay.
For my bonus action, I am going to, as the light flares back into the sword, I let out a breath, and fireflies come out, and they swarm high. And you are going to heal. Nice. 10 health.
Yeah, thank you.
As a reaction, during your turn, as you unleash the bolt and it strikes, the energy halos and writhes around his form, but that hoarfrost that had formed around his body chips and falls off, and it doesn't seem to damage him nearly as much as you thought it would.
What a jerk. Then he's already got the halo around
We've
him.
barely touched this dude.
I know.
Ugh.
So I know I'm
Don't pay
not
attention
sure
to
this
the
is-
bar.
I want
What, we can't see the bar, Gabe.
Yeah, we can't see the bar.
Perfect.
But thanks for letting us know.
We I want Lux to like help the next attack after the guiding bolt advantage. Like she's waiting for an opportunity for when someone strikes and they need help to dive in.
Okay. So, pick the person that she's gonna help, Mist or Kai.
I'll help
or-
Mist. She like knows that Mist is back there and he's been like trying to shoot, and so she's gonna try to like wait for him to ready his shot and then like go for it. The distraction.
Okay.
And then that is our turn.
Okay. Kai, you're up. Mist, you're on deck.
Alright, so I get to attack with advantage here because of the guiding bolt?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Let's see how that goes. Oh my god. Okay, I rolled a 16 with advantage.
Okay. You hit.
Hallelujah. Okay. It's a d8 plus 5. So that is 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
Finally. I drop to one knee and then roll off to the side and then come up and slash at his legs. And then as I'm all up in his grill, as it were, I'm going to use my bonus action to flash the lightning.
Okay.
Do your magic.
Natural 1.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so that's a D6. Which let's
So
see what that looks like.
the slash of your sword,
6.
noted and blinded. The slash of your sword, it's like sliding through mud. You strike and you hit the armor and you find a weak spot and you see this ichor flow from a wound, but your blade barely scrapes through.
Dang.
He looks down at me, and I look up at him, which is a new experience for me. And then that's when the lightning goes off, and he's like and blasted away from me. That's 6
Perfect.
damage on the lightning.
Awesome. Got it.
Gotcha.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Mist, you are up.
So Mist is gonna lean down in his horse's ear and say, "See, we scared him away. Now we can move." And he's gonna lead the horse down this way. And once he gets he finally sees this kind of break in between the people surrounding this guy, and he's gonna take a crossbow shot at that.
Lux
Okay.
lets out a really high-pitched whistle and jumps in between his legs.
And there's the bright light illuminating from behind him with Lux lights it up and gives you advantage.
So with advantage, that is a 12 plus 4, I think, 16.
Barely hits.
Okay. Barely counts. I'll take it.
That's enough.
Right. And between being distracted by Lux and surrounded by enemies, find a sneaky way of hitting him.
That's the trick.
Damage dice rolls are so low, though. That's a total of 10.
Our dice are just punishing us. I don't think I've rolled over an
They are.
11 all game.
Okay. As your bolt strikes, it sticks out of the big meaty cap of his deltoid, and it looks like it barely went in.
And so seeing that, and Mist will kind of lean back down. Maybe we should keep going, and he will use the horse's continued movement to kind of duck into this alley.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Okay. There's more bad guys. Mist dies.
Yeah, honestly. This is like when
12
Killy got
total?
off during Saturday the game. We found zombies.
You
Zambies.
see, as you round the corner and turn and look up, you see shapes bolting down through the sky. That's all you can make out.
Shit.
And I used my words to talk to my horse. So I guess we're done.
Sorry, man. His turn.
He's attacking at disadvantage, as a reminder.
Being blind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he lets out a bellow of frustration and shouts just kind of aimlessly, "Scalud McNall!" and picks a direction.
No.
Okay. Picked heading directly up on the map. So he, remembering where Jube is, being the only one who's still kind of in the same place as he was last turn, he's gonna flail out a kick at Jube. I'm gonna roll once just to see if he even fucking hits you, and then it's gonna be an athletics check very similar to what he did inside. It doesn't even hit you. So he kicks out towards you, trying to shove you off of him, and fails, and runs forward.
Do I get an
So-
attack of opportunity?
Kai, Jube, and Lux all get to attacks of opportunity.
Cool.
Okay.
And
Because
do we have
I'm-
advantage because they're blind?
I don't remember
No,
how
he
Attack
has
it works.
disadvantage to attack you, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
thought.
fairly certain attacks on a blinded target have advantage.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creatures attack rolls have disadvantage.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
both.
I want to flavor mine with the kick if I hit. So,
Kick back.
Kick him back.
nah.
All right.
Okay, finally.
All right.
Natural 20.
So awesome. So that's Jubei. Kai, what's your to hit?
Dirty 20 for me.
Okay, and Lux.
21.
Okay. Between the three of you, how does this giant go down?
Oh,
Well,
Do you mind if I? So he's running directly away from us, right?
Right, he's running
Yes.
north on the map.
So he runs north. As he turns, I flick my blade downwards and I sever the tendons in the back of his knee. And then he drops to the ground.
Oh, Lux grabs his other ankle and yanks back and pulls him down.
Well, actually, because he kicked at me first, and I got a natural 20, and I did damn near max damage on this. When he kicked at Jubei, seeing this move before, Jubei sidesteps and just brings the katana up, cutting his leg.
Perfect.
Oh,
So that goes right as he had 2 hit points left. So
Okay, well that did 23 points of damage to his leg.
okay,
he's not getting
Can
up.
we give Lux the kill then?
I got this. So the slice goes up, the leg comes off at the knee.
Yes.
Completely clean, the beautifully honed blade severs the bone in one swipe. Kai, your blade, light and agile in your hands, severs the other tendon, causing him to stumble forward and strike the ground, and Lux pounces triumphantly on his back.
The little fox jump.
There's a flash of light, but it's unnecessary at that point.
Still grab the
Torpedo.
ankle, but it's the severed ankle, so he's like flopping the leg.
Yeah.
So, he falls 5 feet forward. That is the end of his turn.
Meanwhile, shapes from the sky.
Meanwhile, shapes from the sky. Barreling out of the cloud. Landing on the other end of town. Near this
dear.
crate lying in the roadway.
Holy
more chimeras, or excuse me, 3 more manticores strike down onto the ground with a pound of 1,000 boulders. Boom. And you see now that 2 of them have saddles. One of them has something in the saddle. As another one of these large, giant-like creatures looks at you all, reaches back and pulls out a javelin, and strikes it into the ground in front of you. And the crate that his manticore landed on is collected up in his manticore's claws, and they begin leaping, flying up into the sky. What do you all do?
Mist celebrates. They are leaving. This is good.
You have
So
time
this thing-
to do something, like they're not gone.
This thing is trying to make off with a crate.
Did the rider dismount?
No.
Okay.
Are all 3 manticores leaving, or are some of them still on the ground?
All 3 of them are beginning to take off.
Okay.
I want to.
Just in the interest of keeping initiative order.
Sure.
It is Jubei's turn.
Go ahead.
Jubei has no range, and Jubei's very hurt. Jubei is leaning on his sword and holding his axe. I can't make it there, and they're gonna be they're gonna take off by the time. If they want a crate, they can have the crate.
After Jubei is Selu.
Say
Selu will start forward, and then like take a quick glance back, noting that like others are not moving forward quickly, and will pull back on the reins after 15-20 feet, something along those lines. But will take their turn to try and get an eye on what this crate seems to be of that they're making off with.
Make a perception check.
15.
Okay. So it is a large but simple wooden crate. You do, however, over the din of combat and the pounding of blood in your ears, hear clinking and clattering of miscellaneous metal shapes inside of it.
Does
Looting.
does the crate look like it is anything else like what is in town around anywhere, or does it look like something that like they brought with them to haul stuff
Oh no,
off?
it looks very common. You look over and you see another crate very similarly shaped burning.
Man, these giants take their recycling very seriously.
Hey,
You didn't put it in your bins.
Selu like pulls up, knocking an arrow in case anything comes at them from there. But otherwise holds position, and that will end their turn.
Okay.
Oh, Reese steps up right next to Selu and just fucking unleashed a bolt of light straight at the rider on the man.
Okay, roll the hit.
Oh boy.
That is a 19, 24.
Nice.
24 definitely hits.
That's 6 radiant, or force damage.
Okay.
I don't have that thing that I can knock him off.
Okay, 6 force damage.
And then Lux will just bound to me and then leap onto my back like a little backpack.
As you do. Oh yeah, they can hit. As you bring up and unleash this bolt of light, a flash of white energy around its eyes and head go off, very similar to what you saw before, as some of the energy strikes off and doesn't quite connect the same way you were hoping it to. It still takes the damage, but not quite as much as you were hoping.
Don't like them.
However, 2 of the manticores, with their held actions, unleash a hail of bolts at you.
Shit.
That's okay.
Is it?
It could be.
So that's 2 18s for the first 2.
Both of them hit my other illusion.
Okay.
Nice.
I think that's all of it.
10 being the next highest. Which
That
will not
misses.
hit. Okay. Natural 20 and 17. In that
Yeah, then those 2 will hit.
okay.
Rut-row.
Everything else misses.
Okay. The natural 20 is 15 points of damage,
Oh, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
one shot.
and the 17 is 9 points of damage as this hail
Ugh.
of quills flies out and just.
Reese, so like illusions pop, and then Reese just collapses. And I think, does Lux collapse or disappear too?
No, not for
No.
you. I don't.
No. Okay. Then she's standing on my body, growling.
Avoiding the quills, which
Yeah.
are sticking out of you.
Yeah.
There are just a pepper shot of these quills sticking out of Reese. Next is Mistlethar.
No. It's me.
No, excuse
Yeah,
me.
Kai.
Kai. Not sure why that happened. Kai.
All right. Kai is descending into his blood's up. He's raging. I'm gonna step over to the downed Goliath here. The two-hand behead him, pick up the head, and then just unleash this full-throated war cry and throw the head as far as I can towards the Manticores.
Okay.
If I can make an intimidation roll, or
First, I need. We'll just go with a straight strength check.
okay, I'm doing that with advantage because I'm raging.
Because you're angry.
Is it athletics? Just strength.
Just straight strength.
That is a 19.
Okay. First strike doesn't quite go all the way through, but the second one just cleaves straight through, and you're able to yank the head up. There's no hair, short.
I'm holding it by the jaw.
Okay.
Like a bowling ball.
Yeah, and then I just launch it as far as I can.
Okay.
Can I make an intimidation roll?
You can certainly try.
Can I make it an advantage?
No.
Okay.
But he's raging.
But they're immune to fear.
No, it's okay.
They're not, actually.
Alright, that's not
Clearly
terrible.
immune
That was
to
a,
something.
that was a 15.
Okay. There's a moment where, as the Manticore is lifting off and this large humanoid figure on its back is looking at you, and its eyes go wide in surprise, and then it smiles
Oh shit.
and points its axe at you. And then the Manticore continues lifting.
Guys, I made a friend!
We're friends now, guys. It's
he,
fine.
he likes me!
That's great because I made an enemy. So
Also, I haven't even noticed that Reese is on the ground yet.
It'll take you at least like a minute or two to notice. It's fine. He's usually on the ground. This is normal.
this has happened.
All right, Mistledar.
Yeah. So Mist being single-minded in the fact that this thing's dead and these things are leaving is good. We can save everyone else now. We just have to finish saving ourselves, and he's going to ride his horse over here and start wrangling this horse and bringing it back so that we can load load Reese on it and GTFO.
Okay.
But that's all 60 feet, I believe. I might have 5 feet left. But...
Okay. So, at their turn, they rise up further into the smoke and disappear. And that will be the end of combat.
Alright, if we're out of initiative, Selu immediately drops down off of the horse, reaching into their pouch and leaning down over Reese, just pulling the spines out and taking some of the moss that they had shown Reese just last night and casting Cure Wounds with their last spell slot.
Yeah.
Selu goes before you in initiative, so no death saves.
You heal for 5.
Did we get him?
You heal for 5. No, and I hadn't really planned on having to use this quite so soon on you. Again? Well, not again. The last time was a potion, but you get the drift. Can you please not?
Let us use this moment to go ahead and take 5.
Yeah. Alright, awesome.
Aye. Goodness gracious.
Alright, a legitimate break this time. We'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Mm-hmm.
If Stream Deck is working correctly, hold on. It's being a little weird. Half a second.
All right.
Oof.
letting the adrenaline settle a little bit as the 3 flying manticores and their rider begin to leave into the ash clouds of the burning village and depart from your sight. Reese breathes back to life. The afternoon is yours, y'all. The sun is beginning to set, and the bright orange glow around you is beginning to take over.
So as Selu is like over top of Reese, resuscitating them.
Resuscitating. I see what you did there.
Reese.
That's not what I intended, but it works, and I'm happy about it.
That's actually where the term comes from. Because
Resuscitation.
yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Selu is like looks down concerned. Is like, "Are you okay? Are you all right?"
Is it too early to ask for a nap? Maybe just a little one.
Perhaps not in the middle of a burning village.
Did we get them?
No, we did not. No, because they tried to kill you, and no one else is really looking to be up for that fight right now. So we should really go, and we really need to stop making a habit of doing this.
Okay. Yes.
Yubei approaches Kai and very winded. Is he alive? And just collapses in Kai's arms.
Oh. But Kai was honestly probably still like looking at the sky and like growling, and then you like fall into his arms, and that's what like breaks him out of his rage.
Nice.
Perfect.
Mist would have dropped the horse off by a reason. It is going to be very hard to save your people if you cannot keep yourself safe first. And then, just without even waiting for a response, jumps off and kind of, having taken no damage, just walks healthily over to the body that is laying over there and is like, "What the hell is this?"
It is a headless and legless body. Yeah. Well, one leg is missing.
What the hell was the thing?
As the head and leg are both removed at the knee and at the neck, the viscous vital fluids that are leaving are black. The
black blood.
The body,
so you said?
Yes.
That's creepy. Okay.
That's very creepy.
The body is there. The flesh, on closer inspection, the flesh is a little harder, a little tougher, almost like leather.
Yeah, I feel like Mist would just be like poking it with his dagger.
And it is also wearing gray leather, very similar to its own skin tone.
Do you think they make their leather out of their own people?
That's what I was just wondering.
As Mist is just casually poking this dead corpse with his dagger.
But for a little bit of brevity, you do remember that it was colored. It was not like you slice into it and you see the like dull brown tanning color.
Reese is gonna take a second to bandage himself a couple times, and then walk over to Jubei
From the
and
toes
bandage Jubei.
So yeah, Kai is not skilled in medicine, but he knows like, I don't know, he knows a little from like.
I imagine
growing up around
Reese's
his
hands
people,
are shaking, but like he's got the right idea.
Actually, if you wrap like one of his wounds and I see you do it, I could probably mimic you fairly easily.
Okay, then in that case, Jubei,
like seeing that you're like shaking.
10 hit points.
Jubei, you recovered 10 hit points.
Sorry, that's what I meant. And I get 8.
So after a moment, Mist would stop poking the body and start kind of looking around. Do we believe that there are still people we need to find here, or can we just go somewhere safer?
And right about the time you kind of look around, the large building that Jubei went into and that this creature came out of just collapses.
Shit! Fuck! Please, somewhere safer.
With Reese back up and healing others, and like everybody marginally safe here despite the collapsing, burning village that we're sitting in, Selu will jump back on their horse and head out to the outskirts of the village and try and get a bead on where they're flying off to, if that is possible.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh my god. Fucking quit.
It's a 6.
9.
Oh.
9. Plus 5. It's a 9.
The stress and speed at which they took flight makes it difficult to track. You saw which way you thought they were going. You thought they were heading due north, and then you come out of the cloud and look that way, and right as that happens, a billow of ash just comes right into your face, and you coughing and blinking it out of your eyes.
Yeah. Not being able to see them within the smoke, Selu will head back in and try and help everybody out to get out of this place.
I would like, once we get Jubei tended to, I would like to examine the body, or what's left of.
Well, technically, how many rounds was that combat?
I already closed the tracker.
3 or 4.
I think it was like a minute.
I'm still under the effects of the immunity to fire because it lasts 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm healthy, I'm going back in.
Well, that building just collapsed.
I'm not going back into that one.
It's up to you, man.
So it might actually be a moment. No, I have to check. No, I have to check this one.
Mist, are you still near the body?
Yeah. Getting ready to mount back up. The mist is more than ready to leave.
So I start to... No, you're fine. I start to, like, strip the body down, and I glance at you and I say, we should take some of this with us. It is important to know our enemy, and this is information that can save lives.
If this is you volunteering to carry things, then by all means, and Mist will go around just like stripping everything he can off this body.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
Okay, I am so good at those, Gabe. So good.
You have assistance here.
Okay, I rolled a 19 minus 1, so that's an 18.
Okay. I rolled a 17 plus 5.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Kai,
I am assisting Mist.
you are assisting this. On him, and stripping him down, it is male. The parts look mostly like you would expect them to. The clothing that it's wearing is very primitive, but well made. Hand hides and simple rough spun fabrics. It has 2 javelins with stone heads.
Are they normal sized javelins, or are they like the ones I'm carrying?
They'd be a little longer than what you've got, but they'll still function the same.
Okay, I will take those if nobody else wants them.
It has a great axe made of metal. And 2 hand axes made of stone.
Interesting.
It has several stone necklaces and like totemic fetish kind of things around its neck. Nothing really sticks out as of interest, other than just
None of the stones are moonsun steel.
no, they're just rocks,
Okay.
simple boring rocks. There are a handful of rations, and it,
How-
it
1 day's worth.
well, it's like bark.
Okay.
Like you look at it. Okay, that's dried something.
Oh, geez.
Don't know.
Hey,
If I'm
Louis, we found the rations for you.
like you're like, as Jube's walking into a burning building, you're like, I don't even think he can do something with this. And a few simple gold and silver coins. There are 4 gold coins and 3 silver coins that look like local currency,
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
shoved into a pouch with a few interesting rocks and some tack.
What about the armor it was wearing?
Well, it's pretty cut up. And
I'm not looking to wear it. I don't want it. But like as like an piece of information to say like this is their like equipment kind of thing.
It's what you would consider some pretty tough hide or leather wear. But just having fought this creature and feeling its own natural skin, you don't really know that they need it.
In that case, I want to go and do I have like a sack that I can throw the head in, or can I find a sack that I can throw the head in?
Yeah, easy enough.
Okay, I bag up the head and hang it on Navarra's saddle.
As you go collect the head, something of interest, the bras that had formed around its eyes and around the side of its head, almost like a visor, is slowly melting off. And its eyes have gone completely white as it is dead. And it has one large stone, almost like a inverted U earring through its ear. Jube. There are 2 buildings, one on either side, that you can pick from that are still standing. They both just appear to be barn buildings on fire. So which one do you pick?
Walk into the one that's least covered in flames.
Okay.
least,
So
least,
there was one. That was the one Mist was hiding behind.
kind of rubbing my ribs and feeling the slashes in my armor. More angry than anything else. Walk into one of the buildings and just look to see if anyone's alive.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
I have a feature I want to use in a second when we're done with this.
17.
Okay. There is one body. Older woman. No sign of any other bodies or living beings in the building. Something that does strike you as really interesting is you look up on the shelf in this simple one-room house, where any sort of kitchen utensils would be. There's nothing there.
Was she done in by violence, or was she done in by the smoke?
There's a hole in the back of your skull.
Okay. Walk out
Some
of the
brutal
building.
smoke.
I like
Dangerous.
that the cat is perched
Yeah.
behind me with a paw on me
You are mine.
and headbutt.
Before we come back around to Kai, is there anything anybody else wants to do at this time?
I'd probably go walk towards Selu with my shaky hands now that I'm done patching people up. but that's it.
Okay. So while you're wandering out there, Kai, what was it you were going to do?
Mister, you still by me?
Yes.
So as Kai is like studying these items, he's kind of like he's on his knees. He's got them all kind of like splayed out in front of him, including the head. He's studying like the earring and like the armor and the different bits and pieces we've taken off of him. You notice one of my tattoos starts to glow, and Kai's vision like shifts, and instead of seeing normally, it's like everything is lit up by constellations. And so I'm using that magic awareness feature. So within 60 feet of me, I know the location of any spell or magic item. And Kai's not doing this like knowingly, this kind of like subconscious, but his vision shifts, and I imagine anything magical would kind of like light up very brightly as like kind of like a beacon.
Lux is just sitting there and whistles like a bright light.
Yeah. So like my vision shifts, and Mist, you probably see my hand like go to the ground because I'm like, what the hell's happening? And then like I look around very slowly, and then I see Lux, and like it's a very, very bright light. Is Mist carrying anything magical?
Yeah, my charm would glow.
Yeah, so there's a charm on you that glows specifically.
Probably like in Selu's hand, there's just like a faint fading glow from the moss that they used.
Mm.
So,
And in front of me,
there's a body.
okay.
So since it's the first time you've used this,
Yes.
As your vision coalesces, and you have this wave of almost like somewhere between tingling and nausea that just rolls through your awareness, and it tingles all the way down to the tips of your fingers. And as you're looking at it and look up and see Lux kneeling next to Lux is there it is. I knew I wrote these down somewhere. Kneeling next to Lux is just for the halfest of a second is a man in tribal clothes, very similar tattoos to you, and behind him is Navara looking directly at you as you see Morgal, the Horsemaster, for just a split second. And as you look at Mist's amulet, you look at Mist and you see this amulet, and you swear you see pulsing of Mist's heart beneath it, channeling Mullane, the heart. And you look, who has the other one? I think Reese does.
Yeah.
With Reese, same thing. You see that. And as Jubei walks out of as Jubei walks out of the hut, there's just the faintest of what almost feels like potential surrounding Jubei. And walking step in, step with Jubei is a warrior wielding a spear that is there and then gone. Additionally, you look down at this giant of a creature, and of all the fetishes and totems they have around their neck, one of them falls to the side, and it is a simple rock threaded through with a simple leather cord. And when it strikes the ground, you hear a dunk, like a training sword striking a shield.
You were waiting for that one, weren't you?
I've been waiting for this time. Like, why do you think
It's
I
so
wrote the
cool,
School of
though.
Magic next to each one of them?
Yeah.
Like, you know the School of Magic.
I didn't
so-
realize I was about to trigger a cutscene.
Oh,
Interesting. Okay, that was cool.
Thank you.
So after a moment, Kai like gasps, and his vision like fades back to normal. Not that you would notice anything different as far as his eyes go or anything, but you definitely notice his mannerisms. He starts breathing a little heavier, and he looks back at you. Did you see? And then, like, I look around, I look at everybody. No.
Did you have emotion and intention when you were looking around?
I was just looking at these things, and then you all. I saw my ancestors walking with each of you.
This sounds like a very emotional and intentional thing.
yeah.
Did they point you to anything fun?
Kai like turns back to the body, and he pulls the stone that Gabe described off of away from the other things, and then he looks back at Mist, kind of like a pleading look in his eyes, and he says, "Don't tell the others."
I did not see anything except emotion and intention, and this will just walk away.
I love that so much.
Oh god.
I am more and more loving the idea of this group name being the abbreviation for I swear it's not magic. It's not magic, I swear. Inmis.
Anything but magic.
I love it. So, Jubei, you step out to see this. To see Kai collecting something from the pile of shit he pulled off his body.
Just go walking back towards the corpse, still holding himself from being sore. It is no use. They're all dead before the fire.
So we're too late.
Too late for them.
It gets worse. This is not the war. The war hasn't started yet.
They seemed like raiders.
They seem to be collecting all the metal they can. Probably to build arms. Arms that can compete with your people.
I clank one of the hand axes together with the great axe that I found. One is stone and one is metal. As a response to what you're saying, makes sense.
It's gonna get worse.
Well, we are too late to save these people, but this, and I gesture to the sack of things I have in front of me, is information that I nod to Reese. Information that I'm sure your people can use.
Your barons need to know. And I do not know if this knowledge that we have is dangerous. So we need to make haste. We might be hunted soon.
That makes sense. We need to ride, then I say we ride.
I've been trying to tell you this since you woke up. Can we leave now?
Yes, we may leave now.
How far
When
away
I
is
climb-
Dunkelner?
A couple of days.
Everyone make a perception check.
Everything in balance.
13 again.
9.
8.
7.
6, 5.
What?
No, 22.
Okay. What was the highest again?
I think it was me.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
We should go. Jubei is right.
Selu looks to Reese. Small towns are clearly not safe.
I'm not sure if anywhere is safe, really. From the sky.
If we are lucky, there are more refugees heading south.
If this Dunkelner is supposed to be more fortified
Aye,
in
it
some
is.
fashion,
There will also be armed men there. Not just people.
I say we get there as fast as we can.
Do you have
I
any
agree.
of your Juby snacks we can give to the horses?
I did not. We have been low on provisions. I have not cooked in days.
Reese pats his horse and fireflies float around it. Heals the horse a little bit. Not a lot.
We need to push the horses as far as we can without killing them.
I agree. The longer we're out in the open like this, the worse it's gonna be.
I went as I pulled myself up into the saddle.
Hey, we at least need to make our distance from here.
Perhaps I should ride ahead. I can get much further with Navarra than with these. And I nod to the horses.
And I do not think that that would be smart, my friend. You, a lone rider, would be a target.
I will also be much faster. Reese, is this not important information to get to your clan? Your friends,
Looking up, they can fly, Kai.
so can she. And I pat Navarra.
I'm
There
sure
is,
she
like,
is.
a defiant, like, goddamn right out of the
Okay, yes, she is very fast, but they can fucking fly, Kai. I heard you use this word, the F word. It means importance, right?
Of course.
It could mean anything you want it to mean.
I've
Reese,
noticed that. It's more of a punctuation to a sentence. I'm still learning common.
The most versatile word in the common language.
Of course.
Reese, I will go if you deem it important.
Juve just kind of cuts Reese a glance.
I would
Personally,
feel much better if I could hide behind you.
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry, I missed.
I would feel much better if I could hide behind you while you are.
I have the feeling that they might already know at least some of it. I think it'd be better if all of us rush and get there as fast as possible.
Very well.
I'd rather not lose you.
Well then, we can't waste time. Let's ride.
We should go as fast as we can. He kind of looks over to Jubei and to the horses that are injured and to Reese. As fast as we can manage.
I agree. Reese is probably like hunched over, and the horse probably doesn't look that great, but we're ready. We've seen shit.
Leaving the burning ruin of Hamlock behind you. Jubei, this would be a very well done Hamlock. The collapse of the last few buildings echoes across the land and over the hill as you find yourself riding up over another stone ridge and leaving Hemlock behind.
Hearing the Rohan theme in my head.
Oh yeah.
And traveling further and further north, eventually you find yourself at a river. Night has fallen. Exhaustion is slowly beginning to take over you.
We should probably camp somewhere. And like probably looks like I'm about to fall out of my saddle.
By this point, you've been in the saddle for several hours.
I am also literally almost entirely spent.
And just
And half dead.
For some reference here, as you have moved north from Hemlock, you find yourself nearing crossroads, and looking down the hill you can see the river. The river's name is Sispin. This is a stream, a dense river that cuts the once great nation of Losthren in half. The river used to flow past Dun Cowain, Dun Kelner, and Dun Losthren on its way out past Dun Kellic, and now pours into the Sea of Loss, the Losthren Sea. And as you find yourself riding up over one more hill, ahead of you, moving hard and moving fast, is a very large mounted host heading towards you. They have cleared the ferry crossing the river and are moving at speed towards you. You can make them out for the torches they carry.
To clarify, these are humans riding horses.
You hope.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm going to assume that these are men riding to Hamlock. Probably to relieve them.
I do not think they will be very relieved when they arrive.
No. Perhaps we should tell them when they come up.
Do you think we should meet them or avoid them?
I think
Coming
we have,
from Dun
we have
Kelner,
some-
it might be my friend.
we have something with us that marks us as a friend, and I pat the head. it's like a sack hanging out of Navarre's. Navarre's
Navarre's
I would
real
also-
mad about the dripping ichor down her leg.
I also hold up like the letter from Joseph, and technically we are guests already. We can just get to him. This might be his men and women, his warriors, I guess. What he's gathered already.
The host before you begins climbing the hill at speed, heading your direction. Your options are running thin as.
Do we light the torch to signal them, or do we hide off the road?
I do not think we hide, but getting off the road is probably a good idea.
I agree.
If we intend to talk to them, better that we do so clearly and not take them by surprise.
Yes.
I agree.
So.
And I will light a torch. Like a rudimentary torch, not magic. Fire. Hold it up.
As the torch.
As you're like shaking hands from the long day, like struggle with it, there's a brief gust of wind that like takes a spark. And it,
Of course.
Yeah, Druidcraft.
And when
Good
they
stuff.
get here, I am not very good with, well, speaking to people.
I will talk to him. At least do my best.
Do you want this?
Sure. I'll like hold it. I'll get down from the horse and drop the head on the ground. It's way too heavy.
So, as you strike the torch, the mounted host, there's a cry that goes out, and they shift ever so slightly and start heading directly towards you. And the line spreads and goes wide.
I will step down from my horse and step ahead of like our little group a little bit. Like hands out, the head on the ground.
I think they're circling us.
Yeah.
As a moment passes, the horses gallop around, and then with a shout and a cry from a horn, brrr, brrr, they all
straight
turn.
up Rohirrim moment.
For real.
They all turn
I didn't realize how accurate I was.
and at a trot close in very, very, very quickly, weapons leveled.
They move in herds.
But not single file to hide their numbers.
Nope.
And as the torchlight glints off of spear tips and swords and shields, helms and mail, one repeated symbol you see throughout the heraldry is a green shield with two sheathed swords.
Okay, good.
Sticking out of the ground. And one man in far more decorative armor rides up. State your business.
Oh shit! I pull my mask off, and I'm a friend. I'm a friend of Lord Kellner. We've come from Hamlock.
What's left of it?
What's left of it, and we come with bad tidings.
As soon as you say we come from Hamlock, his features sink. We're too late.
We were too late.
He looks at the head on the ground, spits at it.
We killed one of their creatures too.
Do we still have that head too?
No, that was
Or you
like
put
a
it-
spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks around. Strange company you keep.
Yeah, Mist is like hood up, small as possible behind Jubei.
Again, we're friends of Joseph Kellner. Who might you be?
That's the group name. Friends of Joseph Kellner right there.
Sounds like a bad folk band.
As
It
the
does.
sword sheathes and he passes his shield off to another knight, another soldier, and dismounts. And the helm comes off and you get a better look at who you're dealing with. This is an old man. Man who's seen more than a few winters. And there is nothing about his stance that does not scream warrior to you. looking at this man is like a first day trainee at boot camp meeting a drill sergeant. The intensity, the stare, the utter surety of purpose. As he walks up to you, I'm Huskar Truitt. And who are you?
I'm Reese of Dun Tostar, returning home with my friends. We've come to help with, and I kick the giants.
He looks at the head as you kick it, spits on it again. Looks at you after eyeballing all of your companions. Then you all in your minds feel the Terminator threat assessment roll down his vision.
I smile, like snout to snout, like just
Like bloody and
Yeah, we're all messed up.
like blood still on the face, on the armor ripped to shit.
Reese is probably trying his best to stand up straight and is slightly shaking.
I'm sure 2 little horns pop out from Juve's shoulder.
Reese, after eyeballing your companions and looking at you, and you can see that he's looking at your wound.
Mhm.
I thought you'd be bigger. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Oh,
Nice.
You said it so quickly and briefly, I missed it.
I thought you'd
Reese
be bigger.
of what?
oh, of Dun Tostar.
Tostar,
If you look at the map, it's
Yep.
north and
northeast of.
northeast of Dunkilner.
Dunkilner.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Thought you'd. Be
Oh
bigger.
man, I thought
More,
you'd be
more
bigger.
horns and scales and stuff too. But
Yeah. Sorry, all my companions have the horns and scales and bigger stuff.
Hi, guys. What'd you think?
That's good.
See, maybe that's the group name. We're just like Voltron. Like we are the Witch of Lostrin combined.
I'm telling you,
Right.
man. Friends of Joseph Kilner.
No. If we did like an album title or something, I said straight out of Schema.
Oh, I was
good.
really hoping I could get to Truitt.
That was intense.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And
let's go ahead
exciting.
and roll off for accolades.
Yeah.
I feel like missed threat tolerance is much lower than everybody else's.
It might be more than Reese though. Got a 19.
Because it's the only possible appropriate roll that I could roll
no.
right now.
You nat 20'd.
That's a 6.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Beat my 4.
It beat my 4 too. All right, Jubei, roll off against me. Nat 20'd.
Nice.
All right, so
Meant
I
to
go
be.
before Bill.
Oh man, a lot happened.
Yeah, that was
Oh
a
no,
lot.
I'm sorry. I looked at it. I looked at it upside down. That's a 9. Not a
Okay.
6.
Okay.
Numbers are hard.
Listen,
Yeah, numbers are hard.
it's been a day.
We're playing a number game? There's math involved?
All right.
What are
Uh,
maths?
Reese, do you mind leading us off, man?
Yeah. Okay, I really enjoyed the Kai with the ancestor stuff. It was like the whole episode there was like little spice of ancestor things, but finally getting the magic vision at the end and like seeing the ancestor stuff was like really cool, and I can't wait for us to sit around the campfire and give you shit again. For all of it.
Yeah.
Inmis.
I've been waiting for that.
Yeah. It was a good cutscene. You smashed that A button and it was like you can't skip this.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna take that as an accolade to the GM. Do you have an accolade for a player?
Oh. Shoot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Sean for just the combat was like the funniest shit I've ever seen from Mist, because it was like, I don't know what I should be doing. Maybe I should be doing this. Maybe I could go over here. I'm gonna hide the horse, and then I'm gonna get closer, but then I'm gonna get farther away. And it was really like comical. I imagine it's like a scene in a movie where like stuff is happening and it just cuts quickly to comedic background stuff, and then it cuts back to the action. It was like a classic 80s like action movie.
I love it.
I loved it.
The buddy cop action scene.
Yes, that's what it was.
Love it. Mist.
So mine is gonna go to Kai for the one-liner of don't tell the rest of them about this. And that interaction with Mist of it's still not magic, we promise. We swear, even. It's not magic, I swear. And so yeah, I got a real big kick out of that one.
Awesome. Sailor.
Mine also goes into the whole "it's not magic, I swear" vein of things. So this will go to Sean as well for the constant repetition of emotion and intent in the conversation with Kai. It just continued to hit home the discussions that had already happened around the campfire between the rest of us, like calling back to that moment that the three of us had discussing it the night before, to then bring that back up to Kai. Like it fit the episode super well. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Kai.
In the spirit of not giving them all to Sean, I'm gonna send mine towards Jubei. I liked your descriptions during combat. This is the first time we've got to see you like actually get pretty bloodied up, and I liked how you described you being winded, the blood on your snout, all that stuff. I liked that. That was cool.
Thank you. Well, I hate to give another one to Sean, but the fact that Mist, no matter what, Mist, no matter what, has kept true to form. Mist does not like combat. Mist does not want his friends in combat. Mist will remind us every round that, hey, we can just leave. And the fact he never got off the horse.
Yeah. He got off the horse and then got back on it.
Yeah.
I believe.
I was like, no matter what, he's staying true to his character, and I really, really like that. So.
Thank you. It's really weird for me, so I appreciate it coming off well.
It's coming off.
I was actually just having a conversation with Patrick the other day of like seeing you play a rogue again versus how you played Zarek in our game before. It's so cool to watch you play another rogue, but play it so differently. I love it.
Thank you. I've tried to make them very different characters.
They absolutely are.
For the GM going down the line, Reese, the fury of the moment and attacking in the end, regardless of as a player realizing
no regrets
what probably happened, because they had a turn and didn't do anything, and I saw the GM, I saw the GM in your brain go, God damn it,
this is a dumb move.
Yeah. But sticking to it and rolling through it and playing through it and then playing the healer afterwards. But even then there was almost a little bit of like reluctance or regret I felt like I was picking up on. And that came off very, very well. Mist, fuck off. Everybody's already given you one. Dude, you're so good.
Fuck off.
So, I mean, as a experienced D&D player and as an experienced DM, like, not being involved in combat is still one of the hardest things in the world to do.
Yeah.
Like, now is the time to roll dice and do the heroic thing and be the epic, and you're like, no, I'm afraid I'm not doing this. Like, sticking true to that is, like, props. Seriously. Not being involved in combat in the game we play with Bill, my character is not very combat oriented, and it's a fucking struggle. And I literally look to how you play Mist for when he was really going through rough times, and how to process that and how to play that out in combat. So
Thank you.
once again, beautifully done. Selu, there were a couple of moments in combat where like that first shot didn't go off the way you wanted it to, and harkened it back to like just not being used to fighting on horseback. And then as you went with it, there became a little less of Selu the fighter, and it felt more like Selu the commander. Like you were looking at the big picture of the combat rather than the minutia of what you were directly involved with in the moment. And it's always so cool to see characters like look at the macro view of what's happening around them and try to adapt and adjust and manipulate the battlefield accordingly. And that was just a super, super cool combat to watch from my perspective watching Sailor. Kai, thank you for letting me pull that out finally. But your reaction afterwards, just hands down, like, don't tell the others. Like, I can't laud that enough. That was beautiful. Jubei, the what was that actor's name again? The Hiroyuki Sanada moment, like that's it for me for Jubei. And then when you went into
that actor was the inspiration for Jubei. Just everything he does.
Very cool.
And it shows. It really does in the way you narrate his combat. But when you went in the other house, like I honestly did not expect you guys to go into the houses. Just stay back and wait and watch them burn, and you channeled your ability to be immune to fire. I was like, okay, how will this play out? And that was such a cool gift to me as the GM to be able to give a little narrative beat out of, and it was really cool to be a part of. So many good things, but I think since everybody lauded Mist tonight, I would like to give my GM inspiration to Mist.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Super good stuff.
Oh,
tonight.
you.
I had a really fun time.
I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Super different speed this evening.
Definitely.
Like kind of straight into combat and then dealing with that and then wrapping up relatively quickly afterwards. Different beat, different vibe, but I feel like a really impactful narrative episode as well.
Yeah,
For sure.
I feel like this feels like the part in the season where like shit starts to really happen and like it doesn't stop after that.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to what's coming.
Everything up to this point has been like the lead up of like what's going on. There's talk of giants, but we haven't seen giants, and then this is kind of like the semi-reveal of what shit is actually going down.
We have a villain now.
We still don't really know for sure what's going down, but like we see more of a direction than a complete unknown.
They pointed their axe at us. Like,
yeah.
We have a villain. Get him.
And I could see the struggle on Jacob's face with like, but I'm a GM. I know what these things are, but it may not be what they are.
I legitimately still don't like. I understand by the explanation of what you've given me of like the blood not being normal blood and things along those lines, but like the fact that like charm person didn't work still has me a little staggered. Like I don't fucking understand. So there's definitely some underlying shit there that I'm very interested to see.
Definitely
where
not
this is
magic.
going. Super not magic. Can't be magic.
No.
No way.
No
Where
way.
it's not.
To be fair, in that moment, also like Selu doesn't necessarily know that they cast
Right.
charm person, right? Like that's not. If
Totally.
anything, everybody else that was standing close by has a better idea that some magical shit happened better than Zelu probably does. Other than they felt the wind be weird.
Man,
So-
Creepy.
Frickin' wind.
Wind does weird shit, man.
I tried to grab onto that tonight with several narrative beats.
I caught him.
Yes.
I hope it came off well. Try to like shift each episode, focus on a different character's narrative.
Appreciate it.
layer, to move the larger picture along. So
For sure.
cool. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. Super. I've been waiting for something like this to happen. So super
Yeah.
good episode.
Very
Yeah, good
excited
episode.
to see the interactions and what comes of next session, as far as like really getting into meeting these people of Dunkellner and getting in with what all is going on in Lost Throne outside of just what we've seen on the way up here. So
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
for sure.
I hope you enjoyed meeting Truitt. He's a
Yes.
And the term Huskarl.
Always love that word.
Reese would know from his experience. Like Huskarl would be the personal guard or the bodyman of
Mhm.
the Lord, whoever that is. So
Very excited to meet more people.
I don't.
And not manticores.
But they love you so much. You're tasty.
Yeah.
Tasty nothing. They haven't
like-
tried to bite him. They've just tried to shoot shit at him.
I've been
They
hit by
turned him
a
into a
dozen needles
goddamn
now.
pin cushion.
I
Sailor's getting tired of pulling him out.
like as you fired off that shot, I was like, oh no.
Oh, I was like, oh no, what am I doing?
It was like, all right, just keep. And one of the manticores was focusing on grabbing. Like,
Right.
he spent an action doing something. The others held, so like at least
Yep.
that was 3 quills you didn't get. Yeehaw! Anybody who tuned in to join us, thank you so much for watching. We see you, Trish. We love you. Be safe down in Chattanooga while you're traveling. Anybody who catches this video on demand later, thank you so much for watching. And remember, being kind is always a free action. So please
Always.
be kind to your friends. Be kind to everybody.
And everybody.
Good night.
Night.